Hey guys, it's Will with the Nightmare Narrative Podcast, joined today by Nathan. Say hi, Nathan.
You caught me with a throat full of banana, Will.
That's the only time. What? Caught you at a good time then, sir. Welcome back. So this is what you've been doing since the last time I talked to you, was deep throating bananas?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Let me go ahead and get you full screen there. There we go. So what's been going on, dude? How's it been?
Yeah, very good. When was our last one?
God. I want to say like...
It was this year, wasn't it?
Maybe January?
Yeah.
January? Yeah, because it was before I left my other place. So since I last saw you, I was at... Oh my God, no, yeah, it's been longer. Maybe. No, because I was at my old place, and then I moved in with my roommate to his place, and then I moved in with my parents for a little bit to help them fix up the house and like do some renovations and stuff. And then I moved out, and now I'm here. I got my own office. I got my bookshelf. What's your background? So everyone can see. Are they able to see it?
On TikTok, on
this. Are they able to see it? Yeah. I think those are so cool. So is that your office space, or is that like a little table that you set up?
My kitchen. That's my fridge. That's my coffee maker. That's my kettle, toaster. I'm at my kitchen table.
Oh, okay. There's your banana.
Yeah. I won't waste towel. I'll eat that skin.
Is that a snowball microphone?
It's a snowball. Just called Snowball Blue. Snowball Ice, it's called. I want that Yeti one, but...
That's the one that I had. I had the Snowball originally, and now I got this one.
Yeah.
I actually really like this one. What is this called? It's blue. It's still blue, but it's one of these guys.
Yeah, they're meant to be really good. I've had this since 2017 or something, so it's lasted a while.
I don't think it's necessarily the quality of the microphone itself. I think it's more of the software that you use to be able to filter through everything. Because I mean, like, yours sounds great.
And stuff, yeah.
Yeah, yours sounds great.
If it's not broken, I won't replace it. That's just how I am. Yeah.
I've added some new stuff to the collection since the last time you've seen. Let me grab a couple things for you. Hang on. Yeah. That way you can see my shorts that I'm wearing.
And he's got his feet out as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
I normally charge for those. But check this out. So, I don't know if you can be able to see it with the reflection. But one of the guys at work got me this. It's a comic book that they made back in 2000. And it's the first edition. And it's rated a 9.8. So whenever this becomes valuable, I have it. And then I also got this. It's the missing poster from the Blair Witch Project, and it's signed. It's signed by the dude that was in the corner of the room.
Oh, I love the Blair Witch.
It's my favorite.
Actually, the story that I'm going to tell you later on, it really reminds me of the Blair Witch. When did it come out, Blair Witch?
97? 97, I think. Because it takes place in 94.
Because usually it's every 30 years is when the nostalgia thing kicks in, so things get popular again. So 30 years from
2 years from now.
97, you've got like 5 years left.
Sorry, 5 years from now. Math. Now, before we get into our main topic tonight, because we actually do have a plan for tonight's podcast. Before we get into that, I do want to go ahead and pop this open. So this is Utopia's Barreled Age Worldwide Stout. This and basically 4 bottles is $40. But this beer is aged in a bourbon barrel for 5 years, and it is 17% alcohol. It is from, it could be a couple places. It could be from Delaware, Pennsylvania, Ohio, but it's made by Dogfish Head. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this open and let you guys know how it tastes on air. Here we go. What do you got?
Live on TikTok. Obviously, you can't see him. You need to see yourself, but he's joined on the TikTok line, so he's here in spirit.
Oh, is Luke here? So,
Yeah.
For people that don't know, who is Luke?
Luke is basically my other half of the Spooky Boys Club. Yeah. He can't be here today. Rest in peace. Rest his soul.
He's not dead.
No,
He's just with his baby. His baby is way more important than we are.
100%, yeah. Family comes first, so yeah, he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, 1,000%. Now, let's go ahead and see how this 5-year-old beer tastes. It smells terrible.
Nice.
Ooh. Oh my god.
Does it taste like turkey fat?
No, it tastes like straight up alcohol. Like it tastes like bourbon.
How strong is it? 18%?
17%.
17, that's strong for a beer, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Like upper end of beers are normally like 9%, like at the most. Like ciders are like 6% ish, 8%. This is 17%. Oh my god. Yeah, this is something. So, yeah, I'm going to get really drunk off of that, and then I'm going to drink this as well. This is Christmas pancakes. I'm going to wash it down with this.
But that should be sweet.
Yeah, it counteracts it. So anyway, our main topics for tonight. Nathan, I'll go ahead and let you take it away for main topic number 1.
Main topic number 1 is something that kind of triggered my latest mini documentary idea that I'm making at the moment. It's taking longer than I thought, but that's because it's really confusing to understand everything, so I want to get things right. It's about what happens after you die. But the first topic is about that 7 minutes, that 7-minute period of when you die. And there's a popular theory that we are all dead already. So you could be dead.
Luke could be dead.
Luke could be dead right now, yeah. I could be dead. We all could be dead. And essentially, when you die, there's still, supposedly, that's a strong word, it's a key word, no one really actually knows. I think some scientists have kind of clocked onto this kind of theory, but there's 7 minutes of brain activity going on. And in that 7 minutes, that's when your life flashes before your eyes. But it takes 7 minutes. So essentially, you relive your entire life, in your brain. But it only takes 7 minutes. But to you, it feels like real time. So I could be dead, reliving this glorious moment in all its full true beauty and glory. And then I could just die in my sleep. And that would be the end of the story.
So is that kind of like a paradox? It's like, are you actually living your prime life, or are you going through the 7-minute remembering what your life is like?
Apparently, it's the 7 minutes is your full life. But then, like I said, that paradox. I wonder what would happen where, in that 7 minutes when you finally die, does that version then have a 7 minutes and then so on and so on, so it's unlimited? I don't know.
Or do the minutes keep ticking down until it's very quick and then it's done? And maybe that's what deja vu is. It's you reliving it.
I always thought deja vu were past memories. But yeah, I guess we don't really know unless we die. So I'll go take 25 paracetamol and I'll let you know.
Or just take DMT, and then you'll be able to find out. Now, so you think that deja vu is more like reliving past lives, maybe reincarnation?
Yeah. So in the video, I go through different theories of death. So we've got that 7-minute period one. There'll be different religious ones reincarnation and stuff like that. But then I saw some theories about reincarnation where deja vu is memories of your past life, distant memories. So you might think, oh, I've been here before, or something along them kind of lines, but it would be a memory of a previous life. which sounds absolutely insane when I'm saying it out loud.
I don't think so. I think
these are all different theories that I'm researching for the video, but I mean, you'll never know, will you? I guess.
well, which theory do you subscribe to? Which one do you think it is?
I like the one called quantum immortality. Only because it just sounds the most interesting, but it's really confusing. So the theory behind that is you've got our universe, and you've got like millions of parallel universes and whatever else. So there's a version of Will on this parallel universe, there's a version of Will on this parallel universe, and it's running the identical same life because it's parallel, obviously. So if you're in a car in this universe, you'll be in a car in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
But then what happens is this Will in a car will have a car crash and die, dead. Right? This one will have a car crash but survive. But then I don't know the right terminology or wording for it, but essentially there's like this mind or consciousness somehow gets transferred into the
living one
who survived. So like every near miss you've had in your life where you think, oh, I could have died there, like you did die. But then that's also when the Mandela effect comes into place as well, apparently, obviously. So obviously you might remember, I don't know, I'm going to make one up, like the Nickelodeon logo was blue, but then when you transfer across into the next one, obviously it's orange or something like that, and you think, hang on, wasn't it blue?
So was it that your consciousness, like you died and then you went to the other one where the Nickelodeon thing is orange? Or is it that, like for instance, like you were bringing up Mandela, like what if he was, in his timeline, he went to jail and died in jail, never became president. And then so when he died, he went to the other timeline where he didn't go into prison, or he did go into prison, but he got out and became president and didn't die in jail.
Yeah.
So
there's like minor changes, essentially. And like I said, it all sounds completely insane saying it out loud, but they're really interesting. I think it's really fascinating theories.
But I think that's pretty interesting though, because of the fact that, like with the Mandela effect, if he died in jail, then we would all remember him dying in jail. But the fact that he didn't die in jail, so that timeline for him switched over. But that meant that there was us in the timeline that kept going, even though he died in jail. So what happened to them in that timeline, and not the one where he came out and then became president? That means that split into two different worlds entirely.
Yeah.
So are we all connected into one, or is it because if one person dies, we're living in their reality?
That's why, possibly, yeah. Like it's hard for me to pinpoint exactly what it is because it all just sounds so fascinating. And another one is like, you probably heard of it, the fact that we're all living in like a video game or something like that. You know,
or like the Matrix.
So, yeah, where like earlier you were doing your VR game or whatever. Could be like that. Someone could be doing VR review. Someone could put $5 in an arcade machine and play a life simulator game and create you. You don't know idea about it because you're that character in the game, and that game takes them half an hour, but to you it's like 80, 90 years of real time. And then I've got so many weird theories about like stuff like that. So like because the universe, we don't quite know exactly how big the universe is and how it got here and things like that. What if our universe is just someone sneezed, right, and we're just like floating through someone's living room, like all this snot and bacteria, and that's what the Big Bang was, and then eventually it's just gonna like, dissolve or something. But like this sneeze is like a second or two, but to us it's like billions of years.
That would be a pretty interesting one. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think that the idea of us living in a simulation is pretty plausible. I mean, if you break down to it, it's either 50-50, it's either we are or we aren't. But if you really go down to it, it's like there are infinite possibilities of there being another simulated universe, while there's only one possibility of us being like the prime number one universe. So it's either it's 50-50 or it's a very slim chance that we are in the original one that invents VR and then is able to create a simulation of an actual world. And, one day the aliens might just come down and be like, all right, well, thank you for the simulation. Or just seeing like how the Big Bang took place and they just let it keep running and running until it created us. And then we're living our own life within the simulation. That's a scary thought. And I hope that we're in the prime. But I could definitely see that happening within the next 40 years, probably. Not tomorrow or anything like that. But probably in the next 40 years, we can be able to simulate down to like the very smallest atom simulation of beginning from the Big Bang on up until now. And now, what do you think about being able to look through a microscope and seeing molecules that react in a different way when they're being observed and when they're not being observed? Is that going back to like the whole theory of it being a simulation?
I think that's kind of like the sneeze theory. So like if you sneeze and you caught it in a whatever it is and you look through it on a microscope, and you see all the little wiggly worms, bacteria and parasites and stuff, like that could be our universe on there. You know what I mean? Until they wipe it clean.
So every time you wipe clean snot, you're destroying the whole universe.
Yeah, you have no idea about it. Yeah,
it's terrible. Now, so I did want to talk about, you had a scary story from your uncle, something that happened.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in this one.
In my village where I live, it's essentially like a mining village. So I bought my house like last year or something, I can't remember. We had to get reports and searches done because there's a mine shaft like 4 doors down. There's a pub there, and in the smoking shower underneath that's a closed-up mine shaft. I hope people know that they're smoking over a 300-foot drop. I hope. But there's mine tunnels and mines everywhere. I think me and Luke mentioned about the Loft House cholera disaster where there were like 6 people down there and all flooded or something, and we all died, and they're still down there now. But on that colliery, it's like a forest kind of area now. You can go walk around it, and I go there sometimes because it's nice to have a walk around. But when my uncle was a kid, this must have been like 70s or something. He said all him and his friends used to like go around there and like try and find the mine shafts and all that kind of stuff. And there was this like abandoned house there. It's not there anymore, I don't think. I've tried looking for it, but I can't find it. And he says all his friends went in the house. And then they lost one of their friends, and they lost him for like 4 hours. And then this was before he had mobile phones, obviously, it's the 70s. And then he just turned up 4 hours later, looking really pale. And we asked him where he'd been, and he'd been in the cellar of his house, but he wouldn't say what he'd seen, and he's never told anyone since. And he's like 60 years old now, and he went down there when he was like 11 or 10. So it just kind of reminded me of the Blair Witch Project of that guy in the corner. But yeah, the house should still be there unless it's been knocked down or someone's like took over it. But it'd be really interesting to try and get information about that because it sounds scary.
So do you think that it's like paranormal is involved with it, or do you think there is some natural explanation?
I have no idea. I like to think it's something spooky.
Yeah, take science out of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty neat. Now, so we have in North Carolina, have you heard of the Brown Mountain Lights?
The Brown what, sorry?
The Brown Mountain Lights.
No.
So in North Carolina, I plan on doing a video on it, and I plan on going down and trying to see it myself. I'll probably go sometime soon. But anyway, there's this mountain called Brown Mountain in North Carolina, and you can go there at the same time of night every night, and you can watch as these balls of light come out of the mountain and like go up. And so you can sit there, you can record it and everything. But when they send drones over there, when they send scientists over there, they can't figure out where it's coming from. And so it's not, people walking some people claim that it looks like people walking with lanterns alongside the mountain. Some people claim that you can see the lights coming off the mountain. But it doesn't look like fire necessarily. It looks like balls of light. So people thought that maybe it's people with flashlights on the side of the mountain, but it's not, because the mountain is a straight drop. So no one would be walking there. But you can still see these lights on the side of the mountain. And then other people see the lights come out, and people are thinking maybe they're flares or like hot air balloons or sending up smoke or something like that. And that's what's causing it. But when you actually get over there, not only is it a straight shot down, but you also no longer see the lights that everyone else can be able to see. And so people are thinking it's either a underground base that the military is using, and those are the aircraft leaving it, or it's the ghost of the natives that used to be there at some point. So that's a pretty cool place that I want to be able to go and see the lights for myself. And I want to be able to send a drone out there to go look at the lights, see like what they could be.
Is it far away from where you are?
I think where you can be able to see them at, you're on this road that's pretty far, but you can see the mountain off in a distance, and you can see the lights coming out from it. So I might have to be closer on one night where it's happening, and I can send a drone up to go see what it is.
I always hear things like that'll happen, but it's like the military's got like some weird mountain base.
Well, there's always UFOs. So in, what is it, New Mexico or Arizona, but there's this some rock formation out in the middle of the desert, and that's where people see like skinwalkers, and they see a bunch of other cryptids and stuff, but they also see a lot of UFOs coming out of this mountainside. And come to find out, it used to be a U.S. Air Force base, and so now these UFOs are maybe using it as some sort of launch and landing pad to come down to Earth to be able to watch us and everything. So mountains being used as some sort of underground base is nothing new. There's a couple of places like that here in America anyway.
Can you imagine if like UFOs came to Virginia to abduct humans, but then they realise that, hang on, there's 2 times more turkeys than humans here. These turkeys are the ones in charge.
Well, see, the turkeys are in charge. So so this past Thursday was Thanksgiving, and I saw a fact that said these states in blue have more turkeys than they have people, and Virginia was one of those states. So Virginia has about 8.5 million residents, while they have 15 million turkeys. It's because you have a bunch of farmers that raise turkeys at these confined spaces, so you got a lot of turkey population. But so just cook my own turkey. You got a turkey that you're going to cook for Christmas here. And
I got it from the butchers around the corner, nice and fresh.
Nice. You got it in the freezer right now?
No, it's still alive. They're going to kill it for me and then give me a call when it's ready.
Oh, okay.
Official, yeah. A proper traditional butchers.
Wow.
So I'll probably get it a day or 2 before Christmas Day. They're gonna kill it and basically pull all its feathers off and take all its insides out for me.
I wonder how that changes the taste, eating it like right after they kill it, because like mine was frozen for a couple months, and then I de-thawed it and then cooked it.
Apparently you can freeze a turkey for like a year or something, so it should be fine. I don't think it'll taste much different. I think it's just probably what it's being fed on, because it's like an organic turkey or whatever you want to call it, rather than, because usually I get it from the shop, and still in the shop I get it from, it's usually it's £25, but in the butchers it was 30, which is an absolute steal for a traditional butcher's.
That's crazy. Yeah, because like most of the turkeys that we sell, at most they're like 20 to 24 pounders. So you're getting a 30-pound turkey. Is that like feathers and all? Like, is it 5 pounds worth of feathers?
This is just for the turkey crown, so just the breast and I think a couple of legs.
Jeez.
So, I'll have to let you know. We should turn this into a turkey talk podcast.
We should. We should. Now, how do you plan on cooking it?
What we do is we get orange slices and we shove it up the skin, so it kind of like makes it taste a bit zingy. It's nice.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, it's really, really good.
No, I mean, I make mine sweet. And so what I do is I'll take maple bacon seasoning and like some other like sweet seasonings and sprinkle it all over top. Take some sticks of butter and like put it all over the turkey. Shove a stick of butter up its ass, and then put in like some other seasonings and stuff. And then I'll cook it for about 3.5 to 4 hours on 325. And then I'll kind
How
of
do you baste it?
I'm gonna baste it. So I'll baste it with like I'll put some olive oil on it. And like a
I'm
couple
gonna
of
baste mine like Scary with two. Just gonna put it in my hand and I'll lick it.
and then like it. That's how you're gonna baste it.
Boom!
Just like stick your hand up there and everything. No, yeah, and then every once in a while I got this like olive oil spray. So like every 40 minutes I'll open it up, spray it to get it wet again, and then cook it. And then for like the last 5 minutes, I'll set it on broil just to kind of like get a nice, good cook on top. And it came out really juicy this year. I got quite a bit of leftovers, but it was delicious. I liked it.
I think when we are rich and famous video creators,
Yes.
which will be next year,
Roundabout.
we should get together and we should make a horror film called The Turkey Revolution, based in Virginia, where the turkeys have had enough.
Is it like that episode of South Park?
Yeah, and then the turkeys are based in you guys.
So
Turkeys should be sticking up with your bum.
oh no! Did you see that thing from PETA?
No, what was it?
Oh yeah, it was a meme from PETA. It was like, how would you feel if you were stuffed on Thanksgiving? And it was just like,
Quite nice, wasn't it?
yeah.
A stick of butter up my bum. I call that a Tuesday night.
Oh my god. And I think in the picture it had like an asparagus stuck up its butt.
Full of broccoli for me.
Broccoli. Get like that thick thing just going right up there.
Straight in there.
Crown
Loose,
coming out.
obviously. What was about is loose, but you know.
Oh man. Let's get this back on track.
Turkey talk over, yeah?
Yeah, turkey talk over. Now, do you have any upcoming videos that you plan on doing? I know you just talked about the death one. Do you have anything else running through your mind, something that you're thinking about doing?
I just released that Muffin Man one, so I won't mind doing some small, because we're only like 3 minutes, 2 minutes long or something. I won't mind doing some small ones like that. Like the nursery rhymes are a bit more sinister. So you got the Muffin Man, which has just been released. And then, what's it called? That Ring a Ring a Rosie one, which is about the
plague.
I've not looked into them too much until about half an hour ago when we talked about it. So, but yeah, definitely won't mind doing something like that. It'd be pretty good.
That'd be cool. Just doing the backstories and nursery rhymes, and it'd be like a 2 to 5 minute video, like real quick, and just make them.
Apparently, Humpty Dumpty is meant to be quite sinister.
Yeah, and apparently Humpty Dumpty is not an egg. It's just that's just how people interpreted it.
To make it child friendly, probably.
It'd be pretty scary if it was like a person. And it's just like a true story.
We should do the Rotting Llama Nightmare Narrative, Sinister Nursery Rhymes collaboration video.
Well, I like the one that we did about the Amityville Horror House. That was really cool.
I get so many comments on that asking, complaining that I'm saying his last name wrong. Because I pronounced it wrong. I pronounced it Ronald DeFeo, and apparently it's Ronald DeFeo.
Yeah, DeFeo.
I mean, my surname is Italian, and so I've got Italian in my blood. I don't know anything about Italy. I don't know how to pronounce their names.
It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like...
People go on, so I get so many comments from people going on about how I talk or just in general criticising my videos, but I think they're funny. I reply to them all the time.
No, I love that you troll them.
Yeah. One of my videos, it just hit 100,000 views, and he's been in the news recently, that cannibal in the basement of the prison near me. being a nutritionist, that video's been getting a lot more attention because it's like the most. It's number one on the search list apparently when you put his name in or something. And people are like going on at me about the production quality and how I'm talking, and I type back like, that's fine. I can't wait to see yours.
Yeah, exactly. Like, try and see
It's
if
a
you can do
YouTube
better.
video. I've done it in my bedroom. Like, I'm not trying to make a 5-star production. I do it because it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you do it because you enjoy it, not because of the views or money or anything like
Yeah.
that. It's just because it's fun. Yeah. And for the Amityville Horror House, that blew up a little bit because he had just passed away in jail. And so people started searching that.
Yeah. Has yours done quite well?
That's a good question. I'm going to look it up real quick. But I sent you pictures of when I went there, right?
Oh yeah, you need to talk about that.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll kind of talk about that trip a little bit. That trip was so much fun.
Did you film much of it or any of it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I'm gonna work on that tonight.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's easy just to enjoy the moment and get lost in the moment, but if you filmed it, that's good.
Yeah, it only has like not even 200 views. The one on mine, anyway. But I did like doing the like the case files of it, like the murder side of it, and then going into the ghost side of it. I like that. So what happened with Amityville is I decided to go up to Salem, Massachusetts. And so on the way to Salem, I stopped at this abandoned turnpike that is 15 or 17 miles long, just abandoned road, and it has 2 abandoned tunnels that you can go into. And I'm gonna work on that video tonight. I'll try to have it posted this weekend because once I start, like, I don't stop when I start editing. So I'm gonna do that tonight.
Will it be one video or will it be several videos?
Separate.
If you could, you can create a playlist and you can use that thumbnail that I made. What says Will Davis presents From the Dark Side or whatever it says. It's pretty cool.
Well, I do like that, so I can't wait to show everybody that. Nathan made this really awesome thumbnail with me in a basement. It looks like a morgue or something like that.
It's abandoned morgue. Yeah, I just searched abandoned morgue, cut out you, and then stuck you on it, made it green or whatever.
I love it. Well, I'm gonna start using that as my thumbnail for a lot of them. But especially just pretty much any paranormal investigation or abandoned places, I'll probably use that just from the dark side. But I went to that abandoned road and I walked from one end of the tunnel to the other. It's probably like a mile long, and you're just in this dark tunnel where you can barely see the light at the end, and then the light behind you is slowly fading away. And every single step echoes off the walls. Like I picked up a rock and threw it, and it just echoes, and it keeps going and going and going. And anytime you hear a noise, you think that there's someone in the darkness with you, but then you can't find them. And all the walls are covered in graffiti that I'll probably have to edit out because there's a lot of cuss words and stuff and like kind of bad pictures and everything. But
you did some Facebook Live videos,
yeah,
which I ran them, and it did look good.
Yeah, I took a lot of videos with my camera that I used with it, and got a lot of extra stuff with it. So I might incorporate some of the Facebook Live stuff, but I'll probably just use my camera. We got some really, really cool stuff. I haven't done it yet, so I left my voice recorder rolling, and I kept it on me the whole time in case I died and someone found my body. They could at least hear what happened. Like, I would descriptively be like, there's this 20-year-old white man coming at me, and then that way they could describe like who killed me.
And then would you say you empty your bowels as you die?
Yeah. I just lost 8 ounces.
Yeah, just 8 ounces, which is called his soul, leaving his body. Really, it's just his dinner.
But that place was it was really creepy, but I didn't feel scared at any point. That was a weird thing. Even though I was out in the middle of nowhere, anything could have happened. There could have been someone there that could have robbed me or killed me. But I don't know. It wasn't scary. I think what helps, and I can't remember what this phenomenon is called, but this happened with the cameraman at the Jim Jones thing. But it's where you're filming and you're not really paying attention to what's going on around you, and like you no longer feel like you're there presently, like you're just filming, and so that kind of helped, like to walk through like a really dark place and just imagining like hundreds of people being here with me watching as I'm filming. But that happened with the Jim Jones thing. It was the cameraman that was filming. They were being shot at, but he didn't react to it like you normally would because he was filming. He felt safe, and so like he got shot and died and everything while he was filming. But I can't remember what that phenomenon is called. But I felt safe there. I felt more scared at some places in Salem. So after the abandoned turnpike, which I'll do that video this weekend. I'll probably have to post it Saturday maybe. But after that, I went up to Salem and hung out there. It was right before Halloween, so there's a bunch of witchy stuff. Which Salem in October is amazing. The trees changing colors and everything. Halloween coming out, and that's where they filmed a lot of scenes with Hocus Pocus, which I got to.
My favorite film. I'm jealous you went there.
I got to go all those filming locations, and I tried to set up all the shots the way that they filmed it. Well, it was cool. So that one shot where they're at the cemetery, and he has his foot up on the tombstone. So when I went there and I'm going to go take a picture, I noticed that tombstone, there was like this little etch in it where it was like, oh, you could easily just put your foot right there. Like it was a nice little rest. So I'm wondering if like the actor saw that and that's why he decided to put his foot up on it. Or if just people after watching the movie have now put their foot on it. I don't know. That was kind of cool.
This is ice.
Yeah, this is ice. That's right. I'm glad you know that. But I did all that and then went to like a lot of witch shops. Saw a lot of really cool stuff. I got a Harry Potter wand there. I got this candle that says Salem on it and a bunch of different necklaces. I got this. It's a bat necklace with onyx. Onyx and obsidian are one of my favorites. But that was pretty cool. And then we did a ghost tour where we went to all those places. I went into the dungeon where the witches were kept, and they had the wooden beam that was still left from the prison cell where the witches would have looked up at it every night. And so like I got to touch it and everything. That was pretty neat. But what sucks is where a lot of the witches were buried, like Gallows Hill, where they were hung at. They would hang them there, and then they would bury them, like basically near that spot. And now there's a Walgreens on top of it.
Oh.
And then so now apparently that Walgreens or CVS is like really haunted. And there was this bookstore that was there. This bookstore has been there for hundreds of years. But right before it was built, it used to be this underground tunnel thing that would come up into the building. And so pirates would use this underground tunnel to smuggle drugs and stuff into it. And so this one person was closing up shop, and they went down into the basement, and then they saw this head of a person coming up like this, and then walk through the wall. And then come to find out, they realized that there was a tunnel underneath. And so that was a residual haunting of a spirit walking up the stairs from that tunnel that runs underneath the building. So that's pretty neat. But we did do an investigation. We went to a cemetery, and we went to the grave of one of the people that were hung during the witch trials. And we asked, "Are you a witch?" And so the response that we got back was, "Oh, good heavens." It was a woman just said, "Oh, good heavens." Like, oh my gosh, like people always ask me this question, like I'm not a witch. How many times do I have to tell you? That's what it seemed like. But Salem was definitely a really cool place. And then after that, after Salem, I drove from Salem down to Amityville, which is in New York. I took the ferry from Connecticut over to Long Island. And in Long Island, they have a little... it's broken up into different sections, and Amityville is one of the sections. And so I went to Amityville, went up to the house, and they had this giant dragon on the porch because they were getting it set up for Halloween. I think
saw the picture, yeah. Oh no, it was a video. You took like a 2-second video because you couldn't take any videos.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's some kind of private company that owns it now. But they do tours and stuff. But I went up to the house, I got to take pictures, I did a little video of it. And then there was these people I could tell they were from New York. They pulled up next to me, and they were like, I can't do the New York accent, But they pulled up next to me and they were like, "You better be careful, like it's gonna follow you home." And I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." And then I got in my truck and then drove off. But that was pretty cool. But before that, though, in Connecticut, before I got on the ferry, which the ferry was maybe like 5 miles from this place, but right before I got on the ferry in Connecticut, I went to the Ed and Lorraine Warren Museum, which is where Annabelle is and all the other stuff that Ed and Lorraine Warren got and put into their museum. Which unfortunately the museum is closed. The son-in-law who owns it now, I think he's selling it, and they're how much? Oh, I don't know. But I don't know if he's selling it. I think they might be moving it. But apparently the story goes is that, which it's true, like you go up this little hill and then you're in this cul-de-sac with like 10 other houses, and at the far right corner is the museum. But you can imagine all these people coming to this museum, it would fill up this neighborhood so quick. And so I think what they're doing is they're moving the place, or at least the artifacts, to another building that can where people can actually park at. So that's what they're doing now, I think. But it was just really cool to be outside of the house that Annabelle is in. I would love to do a video on all the artifacts that are in there. That would be a fun one. Yeah, I think that would be a fun collaboration video. We could do like
definitely.
Yeah, because some of them are like murder cases and stuff that then led to something paranormal. I think that would be fun stuff. And then after Amityville, I then drove back home. But it was like an 18-hour drive. It was pretty far, and I just went by myself. I wanted to go visit all those places without someone else being like, "Oh, I'm tired. I want to go home."
Yeah, doing it on your own terms. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Now, what's some places in England that you would like to go to? Like, if you had all the money in the world, where would you want to
go? Right. Not sure. I mean, I don't know. Not sure. Because like I live like 20 minutes from York, and that's like really like old, and that's good. I wouldn't mind going to Edinburgh in Scotland, obviously, because I think it'd be good. And then there's a true crime museum, like at the bottom of the country. Which would be pretty good to go to. And I think it's near a place called Cornwall, but I'm off there next year. But I'm off with the kids, so I can't take them there. Because there's nice beaches and things like that down there. But
what happened there?
It's just a true crime museum. It's got all like artifacts and like some crime scene stuff and just random things. Well, if you like true crime, you think it's cool.
Well, did you know that the person that shot Ronald Reagan, he actually lives like 20 minutes from me. He got out of jail.
So, he's out of jail?
Yeah, he's out of jail now. He got released, I think, like a couple of years back. But it was big news because it was like, oh yeah, he's in Williamsburg now, which is literally like 10 miles up the road from me.
Nice.
Yeah, he lives with his mom is still alive apparently. He lives with his mom now. But yeah, he got out of jail, the guy that shot Ronald Reagan. So that's
there was a guy, I can't remember his name. He just got out of jail recently. He was like serving like 30 years or something. He got out of jail. He killed 2 girls. He raped and killed two 15-year-old girls. And like proper brutalized them, like murdered them and stuff. And then he got released. And then like 2 weeks later, he's back in prison. Why release him? You know?
He's a I forget what the word. It's some kind of criminal. It's some kind of. It's like
he didn't commit any crimes when he got released, but there was a lot of caution and signs towards that he might do by his probation officers and stuff. So they just called it and just brought him back in.
Career criminal is what it's called. Where they just commit crimes and just keep doing it, even if they get out of jail, they just do it again.
Yeah, like Charles Bronson over here.
Charles Bronson?
Yeah, I did a video of him. the guy who's never actually like done any like really serious crimes, but he's in jail for life because he was really violent. But there was a movie about him called Bronson. He just commits crimes just for laugh.
Just for fun is what he does.
Yeah, just for lols.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anybody else near me that's done something like that. I've been watching more of the. I think you should definitely do. Here's the video you should do. I think that you should do the video on it of like the murder stuff, and then I'll do the paranormal side of it while I'm here. But it's called the Parkway Murders in Williamsburg. You should look it up, do a video on it, do the Parkway Murders, and then I'll do the paranormal side of it.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But basically, there was this guy. I think it's two people, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But basically, this guy he would pull people over and pretend to be a cop, and would come up to these doors of people and like kill them. But like the first murder was this lesbian couple in the 80s, and they were making out like on this overlook, and then this guy walks up to the car, drags one of them out, and like strangles them to death, and then goes and grabs the other one and like stabs them to death, and then they killed like I don't know, like 8 people or something like that, like mostly couples. It was people that would be driving on that parkway. And they would always take an item from them as like a souvenir. So there would be something missing, like a shoe or a necklace or something.
Yeah. I like souvenirs, don't they?
Yeah.
I love them.
And those killers loving souvenirs. But that would be a really cool video. We should do that. That'd be neat. I could ask the spirits questions, like who killed you? What did they look like? How did it happen? Let me help you. Kind of thing. That'd be cool. Because the paranormal team that I'm with, Virginia Paranormal, they did a video on it. They did what's called paranormal shakedown is what he called it, because Jeff used to be a police officer, and so he decided to incorporate ghosts with investigations. And so basically he would like ask ghosts questions about how they were murdered and stuff, like take cold case files and try to get new answers and stuff. And that episode they got a lot of answers. And then someone close to the case called them and gave them some more information about who could have possibly done it and where they live now. And they actually live pretty close to me. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's something I'll probably have to tell you off camera. But, yeah. So that would be a really cool one. Look into it. There's a couple of documentaries on YouTube if you're interested. They're like an hour long. They do a really good job of diving into them. That'd be pretty cool. And a lot of people are searching for them now because it's coming up with anniversaries. It's coming up with a bunch of other people are searching for it now. And I think they're about to do a series on it on Netflix or something. So I think that if you did that video, you get a lot of searches.
Yeah.
That's pretty
cool. Definitely write it down.
Heck yeah. I don't see any questions in the live chat, so I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, where can they find you? I know you do have your TikTok. What's your TikTok handle and your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so TikTok is just called Rotting Llama. Same as the YouTube channel, really. If you just search that, I'll just search my name. I usually pop up. I got a Facebook page, don't really use it, but it's there.
Do you have a Reddit?
I only use the Facebook page for sharing the videos to different groups.
Mm. Do you have a Reddit? I can't remember.
I try Reddit, but Reddit's quite funny when you share things. Like, you got to make it out like it's not yours. Like, oh, I found this cool video, a really short video. But if they find out it's your video, then, you know.
Then you get banned. Yeah. That's my Nightmare Narrative is banned from a lot of subreddits. Yeah. All of the ghost ones I'm banned from.
Nice.
Because I can't be like, oh yeah, here's this EVP I caught. It's like, no, you can't post that.
You want to reword it like, here's this EVP that someone else caught. They'll blow up.
Yeah. I'll make a Reddit username called Not Nightmare Narrative, and then and then post it up and be like, look at what Nightmare Narrative found. I'll start doing that and see what they say. But thank you so much for joining us, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully, Luke can be able to join us so we can have a legit Spooky Boys Club.
Yeah, reunion.
A reunion special, as it were. That would be pretty cool. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again next time. And remember, sleep well.